Hi, my name is Bella, and I am advertising for you all to go to the camp called Mix. Mix is the kind of camp that brings together all sorts of people, black or white, small or big, and no matter what races and religions they believe in. It comes to bring all people together to have fun and get to know Jesus better every day. There's a lake that you can play in, activities you can participate in, there's a pool, a snack shack, there's a worship center where you can go to worship, and lots of very meaningful services. They have worship time. There's small group time where you talk together about certain things that you learned about in your service. And there's like so many fun activities, and you get to meet so many new friends, and it's all very nice and well made, and it's just a great place for you to go. I really think whoever you are out there, you'd really, really love. So if you're a parent out there that happens to be watching this video, get your kids signed up for Mix because it is awesome. I've been there, and my experience was absolutely phenomenal. It was so great that I even became a kingdom worker. A kingdom worker is what I have right here that symbolizes that. It's like this way too, a kingdom worker. So a kingdom worker is so they had these friend or foe cards, and they were really cool because what you had to do was you write a friend down and you write a foe down. Now in your small group time, you're not supposed to say their names because that would be kind of rude. If they were sitting right beside you, you'd be like, my foe is the person right beside me. They'd be like, oh, how dare you? So our friend or foe cards, I'll tell you what they did. They used them and said, with this, if you want to become a kingdom worker, then go out to your friend and try to talk to them more about Jesus. So they did a friend or foe who is less connected and needs to be connected, and you are looking out for, even your foes. So go out to your friend and even go out to your foes and try to connect them with Jesus and show them God's love. And Mix is one of those ways to do that, as well as Southeast Church, which hosts Mix. So going to church, just bringing them in there for a cool story, maybe, it's so cool. And so you're supposed to have 2 rings. I chose a black one. There's a white one too. You can take the white one and give it to somebody else who's going to pray for you when you do that, who's going to believe in you and what you do. And so I thought that was that was one of the most meaningful things to me at Mix. And there were so many good services. I'm not going to give them away because you could be going to Mix anytime, but they're so meaningful. So. Before I went to camp, I was so nervous. And so my dad gave me this little token. This coin was given to him by someone who worked at a camp called Camp Lucon. I don't know if you know what that is, but it's a really big camp. And my dad said it was the best camp he ever went to. The best camp I ever went to was the only one I ever went to, Mix. But this little token, it's 20 years old. It says Prayer Warrior, John 5:14 through 15. Well, 1 John 5:14 through 15. It was very meaningful to me. It's 20 years old, guys. And yeah, it was given to me, and it is so special, and it made me persevere through. It is kind of nerve-wracking, but I made so many good friends for life that I'm excited to see next year at camp. And so I'm going to get into the stuff that they have at the lake, because you have to hear the stuff. You're not going to want to go unless you hear this. It's amazing. So they have a water slide, they have trapeze in the air into the water, they have water zip lining, they have a Whibbit, which is like a floating bouncy house island that you get to jump off, slide down, and climb up. It's really cool. And then they also had the blob, which is where you jump on one side and someone's on the other side, and it launches them into the air, into the lake, which is really, really cool. And they had a pool and a snack shack, and it all consisted of little roads, and they had activities. You could sign up for them, like high rock wall climbing, actual zip lining, and then they had paintball. They had a dodgeball game that they could do. It was so cool. It is so fun. And personally, my favorite thing was the water slide and the Whibbit, because if you go down on those, there's like pieces of mat, it makes you go faster. So I really enjoy that. You could also go kayaking in the lake, which I did not do. But it is all so cool, and I'm going to tell you about a little bit inside of the worship center. So inside the worship center, you would have a team name. So they chose team names. So they were really funny team names. You all are going to laugh at them. It was the Moose Goose was the first team. The next team was the Sloth Moss, which was my team, which not the best name, but I still, my team and we got 3rd place in the whole challenges, which I'll talk to you about in a second, but, I still, it was my team name, so I was for my team. The next one is the Bee Bears, and then there was, last but not least, the Cat Bats. Yeah, the Cat Bats. All right, so basically when you do in there, so your team and you would get to earn points through different things. So they were like Bible games. So one of my favorite games was the Face the Octopus. It was the Dares or Face the Octopus. So they would come up and ask you certain questions that might embarrass you, questions that are silly, or I ask you to do things. And if you didn't do it, if you did do it, you get 500 points. But if you didn't do it, you'd get 250 points to face the octopus, like a dressed up person in an octopus suit who tells you to do something and you have to do it, or you lose points. Man, you lose points. And then, yeah, so that's one of the games. It was my favorite one. We do have another game that I thought was pretty cool too. It was fill in the blank with the Bible. So the pastor, Rob, who would lead us, he would read some Bible verses and there would be blanks. And there would be children up there. They would have 4 volunteers from each team. And they would each read something pull out something from a little jar, which had a bunch of funny things in there. Like nail clippings was one of them. It was so funny, but it made us all really laugh. Yeah, that's another one of the games. And then, well, we had some worship time. So, yeah, so the worship time was whenever we would have a band come up and they would play their songs and we would sing along, go to the front, all kind of things like that. And then we'd have our actual sermon. So the sermon was super meaningful. They would have them by different people, and then it was just, I'm not going to give away the sermons, but they were so meaningful. They touched my heart. A lot of people gave their life away to Jesus the nights we were at camp, the second night mainly, but a lot of people gave their life away. It was just so amazing. Lastly, I almost forgot, we had the church clap. So the church clap is so fun. You could look it up on YouTube. It's awesome. So it's like this clap that we do at the beginning, and it's like sort of like a rap at the beginning, but everybody participates. You can learn how to do it, and it goes like this. Whenever you're moving around and you're just going back and forth, there's nice rap. It is so fun. I'm not doing the best job, but you have to see the church clap. So, yeah, it's all great in Mix. It's a great camp. You know, it's got a great purpose. I would go if I were you. You don't have to go. It doesn't cost too much money. Activities cost like $10 extra, but you don't have to do activities. You have a whole 4 hours of free time. 4 hours. There's lots of snacks, good meals. There's a dessert after lunch, after dinner, good breakfasts. You have lots of cool things you can do, meet so many new friends. I had the best time in my life there, and so hopefully you guys will go to Mix or go to Southeast Church, and yeah, so hopefully you will do that, and I am hoping that you have an excellent day and you'll get back with me on the Southeast campus.